Hello. So for my media project, I'll basically kind of be documenting my exploration of the little market map thing we did about the relation between cultural capital and economic capital. It's this thing, maybe I'll put it here. Yeah, so I'll be kind of eating one meal that represents each of the four sections, like one low income, low cultural capital meal, one high income, high cultural capital meal, and all that jazz. So yeah, I'll be kind of comparing the four meals, see which one I like, which one I don't like, what I prefer, and yeah, that's it. So let's get started. To maintain some level of consistency, I settled on an overall fried chicken sort of theme as a control group. This will make the head-to-head comparison easier to manage and dissect. So, I forgot to record this yesterday, but the place I'm going to right now is called Box to Go. It's this little Japanese shop that sells bento boxes. You can get fried chicken ones, tonkatsu ones, fried shrimp ones, the list goes on. It's great. Everything there is under or around $10 for quite possibly the most perfect amount of food ever in a meal. You're not so full to the point where you get that food baby and you don't feel like moving, but you also don't really need to eat anything else for the next 3 to 4 hours. So it's a great deal food-wise, price-wise. Cultural capital through the roof. It kind of takes some level of understanding to know and appreciate Japanese cuisine, Japanese fried chicken, the whole concept of a bento box. A lot of culture going on, a lot of capital, cultural capital, we put it together. It's great. I think it's not that unhealthy. I mean, it's fried chicken, but of course you get like some vegetables, some rice. The point is there's worse things out there if you're gonna eat unhealthy, and this is pretty good. So yeah, it's on St. Mark's Place, which is right by school too. So good place for like a quick, easy lunch if you kind of are in a jam and don't know what to eat. So yeah, highly recommend, great spot. So we got our food and we're gonna eat it in this empty classroom for the atmosphere. So, as you can see, it comes with chicken, rice, lotus root, and pickled beets. The chicken is covered in this sweet and sour sauce called nanban sauce. So I didn't talk in this, and it's kind of awkward if there's no, oh, why did I do that? Okay, it's kind of awkward if I just play the video, so I'll give some commentary. Yep, there's the tartar sauce. The tartar sauce was a little bit watery on the day, but usually it's creamier and it's kind of a really good sauce that cuts a lot of the fattiness and acidity. I have become a big tartar fan because of this place. Yeah. Oh, here comes a piece of chicken, close up. The chicken is very soft and the crispy bits are crispy. Big scoop of the tartar sauce. This is honestly a pretty good bite of chicken. It's like the perfect size, perfect amount of sauce. It's good. Oh, big bite. Big bite. Nodding the head, approval. Yeah, the chicken is very good. I'm pretty sure it's all dark meat chicken. So yeah, there's that too. Eating a bit of rice, always good. Okay, why am I so close to the camera? Okay, nice swallow. What am I getting now? Some rice and the shredded lettuce. Yes, there is shredded cabbage or lettuce that's under the chicken. Good way to sneak in some vegetables. Okay, here's a lotus root. The lotus root is very good. It's probably my second favorite thing. It's super kind of sturdy and firm, but also crispy. I'd eat these if they were in chips bags instead of chips. Okay, the pickled beet, I'm not the biggest fan of, but just because I don't really like pickled things, but it's not the worst if you kind of down it with the rice and the sauce. Okay, I think I'm assembling the perfect bite here. I try to do this with a lot of things I eat, kind of just getting every little bit into one bite. It really makes a difference in terms of flavor. Yeah, there it is. This is going to be a big bite. Yeah, it's good, it's good. I recommend trying to get the perfect bite for your meals if you don't already do that. It definitely changes the whole meal in some sense. Okay, a little messy, I had to wipe with the table. Okay. What am I doing now? Okay, some lotus root with the rice. Oh, that was a weird bite. So, why did I get McDonald's for my low income, low cultural capital meal? Well, I think in terms of low income, it's a little bit self-explanatory. It's fast food, it's cheap, it's kind of a bang for your buck type of situation. As for cultural capital, I think the way I understood it is that you don't really have to know a lot about what they sell to know what you want to get. You kind of go to McDonald's not expecting good food. You kind of just go there to crush some food that happens to taste all right, but you're not really doing it because it's good. If that sort of makes sense. But that's kind of why I go to McDonald's, so that's the way I understood it. And I think the nuance for McDonald's as opposed to KFC or Popeyes is that those are actual chicken spots. So there's a little more cultural capital going on, at least in terms of fried chicken. And that's why I picked McDonald's as sort of a more over-exaggerated example of low cultural capital when it comes to fried chicken. And the fact that I didn't even get fried chicken, I got chicken nuggets. So I think that kind of works for the purpose of this project, and also an excuse to get some McNuggets, because who doesn't love McNuggets? Bad news, also good news, maybe. I forgot to take a video of me eating the chicken nuggets. There's only like 2 left now, but just in case you don't believe I'm eating the food. Hello everyone. Today for our high income, low cultural capital place, I'll be going to Bubby's. It's this American diner that does breakfast and brunch and stuff. It's in Tribeca. I've been there before. It's pretty good. But yeah, see you there. So our food is here. Chicken, coleslaw, biscuit. Get some condiments too. It looks really good, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. It was pretty loud in there, so I don't know how clear the audio ended up being. It doesn't sound the clearest when I'm editing. So I'm gonna talk over another commentary sort of thing. Yeah, they give you 3 pieces of chicken. I think one is a drum, one is like body plus wing, and one is a thigh. I'm not the best at eating fried chicken, like with bone in. I've never been a fan of bone in fried chicken. So it's kind of a struggle to have to cut through all the stuff, cut around the bone, kind of cut near like the little bulbous ends of the bone. It's not easy for me at all. So I tried my best. You can see me kind of struggling here. It's not a good look at all. I do prefer usually eating chicken tenders, even though a lot of people don't consider that fried chicken. That's kind of my go-to because, again, bones just aren't my thing, have never been my thing. You might be asking, like, why don't you just use your hands? That's also part of why I don't like using or eating chicken with bones, because you kind of have to really get in there, and that's just not my style. Yeah, so you see me kind of dipping it into the coleslaw. Coleslaw kind of works the same as the tartar sauce from Box to Go. It gives you a little cut for the fattiness, but it was kind of hard to like also fork into the vegetables, but I think I'd try at some point. Now I'm gonna try to get some chicken and coleslaw in one bite. Here's a close-up of, I think it's the thigh piece. Yeah, it's super crispy. Like the skin is so unbelievably crispy, so it is very good. The chicken, I'm trying to remember, it was seasoned well, but it wasn't like, whoa, seasoning flavor. It was just like, this is good chicken, you know? The biscuit was actually amazing because I've only really eaten like Popeye's biscuits. And if you've ever eaten a Popeye's biscuit, you know if you don't have water with that thing, it's just so over. But this, no water needed. Super soft, super creamy, super flaky. Overall, solid biscuit. And they give you like this little jam cup and butter cup that I scoop onto the biscuits. Honestly, I could just go back and just get biscuits. The biscuits were good. And they should be, because this is a breakfast brunch place. So it's good that the biscuits are A tier. Yeah, the jam is also really, really good. I kind of want to know if they make this or if they buy this, because if they buy this, I want to buy it too. Yeah, I think I do a butter plus jam side on the biscuit. Yeah, here comes the butter. Um, they didn't actually have covers, if you didn't notice. They're like these little wax seals on top that you kind of peel off and you can like lick them and stuff. I don't know, I like the cups. The little jam and butter cups were cool. So yeah, I think I'm going for a butter spread on this one. If I remember correctly, I put this one butter face down on the plate because I don't know what I'm doing. Yep. Big shame, big shame. But it's okay. It didn't really change too much. Yeah, going for like the pseudo perfect biscuit bite. It was going to be pretty impossible to get chicken on this biscuit, so that's why I didn't try. So I just put both butter and jam to see how it went. And it's really good. I actually never really kind of double up on biscuit or pancake or waffle or any kind of toast toppings. If I'm doing just butter or just peanut butter or just jam, like on a single slice at once, I'm only doing one. I'm never doubling up like that. So this is a change, and I do kind of like it. So I might be implementing this in my other breakfast expeditions. But for now, I think I'll stick to just putting butter or something on my toast, but I might want to try incorporating this for sure. Yeah, the biscuit is kind of oily, so I have to wipe my hands. I think we're gonna go back in for some chicken now. Yeah, I think we're gonna try and finish off this thigh piece, at least in the section that I recorded. Yeah, you see how much of a struggle this is? This perfect example of why I don't like bone. Ooh, wow, steam. You can see the steam in that. That was a solid bite, to be honest. That was a solid bite. I think I might have given up on like eating for the camera. I think I just show you what the other pieces of chicken. Yeah, there it is. This is the little like the wing plus body part I was talking about. You can kind of see the wing there that's connected to the big middle piece. And this is the drum. That's not focusing well. I think it focuses now. Now. Yeah, that's the drum. But yeah. So, let's talk about Bubby's. Why I chose it for the high income, low cultural capital is because it's not the most expensive chicken you can get in the world, but it was around $35 after tax and tip, which is decently expensive enough if you're kind of just looking for fried chicken. As for the cultural capital, I think it was a little hard to find a spot that would kind of fit what I thought low cultural capital would mean. And my reasoning for Bubby's is that it's primarily a breakfast and brunch type of place. So the fact that you're just getting fried chicken as opposed to something else they have, which is called fried chicken and pancakes, which is kind of similar to fried chicken and waffles, that's actually a more culturally capital kind of a choice, because you have to understand and know about chicken and waffles and where it comes from and why it's good, as opposed to just getting fried chicken for like a breakfast type of thing. So that's kind of why I understood it as lower cultural capital, because it kind of doesn't take a lot of knowledge or kind of understanding to just go to a breakfast place and just get fried chicken. But yeah, on another note though, this also kind of means that lower cultural capital doesn't mean low quality. Of course, the chicken was still great, the restaurant atmosphere was great, Bubby's is still a great place. It's just that I think getting fried chicken at Bubby's is kind of a low cultural capital move, and that's kind of why I chose it. But yeah. Okay, so additional comments on Bubby's and why I picked it as a low cultural capital option. Because I know this is not a perfect example, and it's definitely the most kind of nuanced category, the high income, low cultural capital thing. So first of all, I do want to acknowledge that the fried chicken itself at Bubby's is not really a low cultural capital option. It's kind of just lower cultural capital in comparison to the fried chicken and pancakes. And the reasoning I kind of thought about more is like cultural capital, as we understand it, is kind of the accumulated experience and knowledge you have to understand and accept a certain thing. And this kind of cultural capital helps you relate to other people who also have that same understanding. And depending on where you fall on that level of cultural capital, it gives you more social capital, economic capital, clout status, whatever, right? So the higher up on the cultural capital scale you are, the more you know and the more you understand, and the more kind of experiences or things you can relate to. And I think that helps me explain why chicken and pancakes is a higher cultural capital option than just getting fried chicken, because obviously everyone knows what fried chicken is, everyone's eaten it, made it, heard of it, whatever. But there are definitely like large groups of people who've never even considered fried chicken and pancakes as an option. Kind of the natural instinct isn't to pair something as oily, greasy, and kind of decadent as fried chicken with a heavy, yet sweet, and supposed to be light and fluffy breakfast item like pancakes. And kind of understanding that, like where that as a concept comes from, and being able to want to try it at Bubby's is a display of higher cultural capital. And that's kind of what I wanted to show, that just getting fried chicken is a lower cultural capital, and that's why I kind of put it in that category. But yes, it's not a perfect example, especially because it's kind of hard to find a well-made, high-quality fried chicken that's also low cultural capital, because no matter where you go, depending on who makes it, like what it's supposed to be, what it's supposed to represent, that fried chicken is going to have a decently high level of cultural capital. So I think this approach of kind of comparing fried chicken to the fried chicken and pancakes helps me explain the whole concept of low cultural capital a little bit better. But yeah, I hope that makes sense, because it kind of made a lot more sense to me when I had to think about it. But yeah. Okay, so for the last spot, the high income, high cultural capital chicken place, I'll be going to Chick Chick. It's in the Upper West Side, and they kind of do a Korean Nashville fusion of fried chicken. So right off the bat, we're starting at like a higher level of cultural capital, because we're mixing two cultures and kind of their variations of fried chicken together to create something entirely new. They've been popping up in a lot of like the food magazine news articles lately, like Eater and stuff like that. So yeah, they've been getting a lot of positive attention, kind of a lot of clout, and they're a pretty established chicken place that I think should fit the high cultural capital bill. And it is delicious. I've been there a bunch of times. So yeah, we'll go there again, and see you there. Okay, so we're gonna start with the chicken tenders. Yeah, they gave that to us first. They were really, really soft, really, really crispy, kind of even better than what I remembered last time. As you can see, I'm not struggling here, no bones, just tenders, steam, it's good. The sauce I chose was the soy garlic sauce. It was actually really good. I kind of expected it to come out covered in the sauce, but it wasn't. They give you like a little ramekin with the sauce in it, and you kind of had to dip it, which I actually prefer. I think that way you can kind of control how much sauce you're getting on each piece. If you want to do like this, you see how all the sauce is dripping out. It looks kind of cool. That's what I did. The chicken was very hot. You can see me breathing in some air to kind of cool it down while it's already in my mouth. Not a good move. Cool down your chicken before you eat it, or else you're gonna have a hard time for sure. Okay, now we're moving on to the Korean inspired Nashville spicy chicken sandwich. It's actually monstrous. The chicken doesn't even fit in the bun. It's so messy. The sauce goes everywhere. The kind of coleslaw thing they put inside goes everywhere. You can see it's all over my mouth. It's actually just too messy, too big. And you'll see what I do here. Honestly, a bit of an abomination, but there's no other way to eat this because it's just too hard to handle with your hands. I have to cut it with a fork and knife and eat the sandwich with a fork and knife to kind of control how much I'm eating. Even then, the bite is still humongous. So yeah, that is the one complaint. The chicken is too big, which is also not really a complaint. You get a lot of chicken, you get a lot of value, but it's a lot to take in at once. Um, I did make a mistake getting two things, but I had to because Chick's not as expensive as I remembered because probably when I was in high school I had no source of income, so it felt more expensive. That's why I got two things instead. So we're done. We ate at all four chicken spots. What's next? And that's a great question because I think it brings us a little bit full circle back to the introduction and kind of harping on that idea. It's this chicken journey, if you will, has been just a way to better understand cultural capital and its relationship to economic capital. And I think through going to these four places, I've been able to better analyze and understand what cultural capital is, what cultural capital means at these places, and what high or low cultural capital kind of looks like. And I think it's going to be useful for when I go to places in the future to eat, maybe to watch a movie, watch a concert, anything. I can now better understand how cultural capital works and why it's kind of a big part of our everyday life. So yeah, it's been my media project, and I think that's it. Psych, I have a better closing. My girlfriend just gave me this idea. I'm going to rate the four places that I went to, but not in kind of the lame, oh, which one did I like the best? No, I'm actually going to give you recommendations on like which date in the dating stage you should take someone to these four places. So like first date, second date, third date, things like that. Okay, number one, Box to Go. It's kind of like a casual hangout date. If it's going to be a date, it's not like a date. You kind of get a bento box, you go to the park, go to your apartment, something like that. So honestly, Box to Go is kind of more, you're probably already in a relationship if you're going to Box to Go. It's kind of a very chill, but still like, it's like business casual. And I feel like that level of kind of connection is honestly a little deeper and it's a little hard to get sometimes. So I think you're probably going to Box to Go if you're already in a relationship. McDonald's. This might be a little kind of a hot take, but I think you should definitely be going to McDonald's while you're still like going on dates and not dating. Probably like a fourth or fifth date. I don't know. I feel like if someone is super not down to go to McDonald's, I don't know. Like, because the whole point is like, you can have a McDonald's date and you're just talking and stuff like that, and you just have McDonald's there with you. It doesn't have to be like that serious of a date. I think having kind of chat dates, just talking like that is good for like the development. And besides, I think if people are super against McDonald's, there's something going on there. For Bubby's, it's like a brunch breakfast. Okay, so what I'm thinking about right now is that first dates are usually like, do you want to go to dinner? Do you want to get coffee? Things like that. But I think going to Bubby's works as a second date because now you've already dedicated like normal time with someone because most people work during the day, so they have the time to spend to get dinner. But now you're kind of going out of your way and spending a little bit of personal time, like in the morning. People don't like to give up their mornings a lot. I think that's important to start kind of being able to give up time like that. I think going to brunch or dinner, or no, not dinner, breakfast early on in the dating stage, probably good. Lastly, Chick. But Chick's like a lunch spot. Kind of same thing. Usually if you're working, you don't have time to go out and get like a sit down lunch. So you're probably going on the weekends. Weekends are also a time that people don't really like to give up. So it's good to kind of get in that habit of wanting to spend time with this person outside of your own time on the weekends. So Chick probably works as like a third or fourth date too. So yeah, that's the real conclusion. Bye.